Welcome back to Happy Hour, everyone. The Dow Jones Industrial Average losing ground again today, closing down 203 points. In addition to all the Treasury moves that we've been talking about, investors may be getting nervous over more proof today that as far back as 2001, the Democratic nominee was discussing redistribution of wealth.
The Supreme Court never ventured into the issues of redistribution of wealth and sort of more basic issues of political and economic justice in the society. And one of the, I think, the tragedies of the civil rights movement was because the civil rights movement became so court-focused, I think that there was a tendency to lose track of the political and community organizing and activities on the ground that are able to put together the actual coalitions of power through which you bring about redistributive change. And in some ways, we still suffer from that.
The Obama camp outraged at this, saying, quote, Americans know the real choice in this election is between 4 more years of Bush-McCain policies that redistribute billions to billionaires and big corporations and Barack Obama's plan to help the middle class by giving tax relief to 95% of workers and companies that create new jobs here in America. Joining us now with his view, Marc Lamont, Fox News contributor. Welcome back. Good to see you, sir.
Always good to be here. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I'm disappointed and excited for you at the same time.
Thank you. All right. So a lot of people are making, a little bit of this, I took a step back for the past couple of weeks and, coming back and this whole controversy about redistribution of wealth that Senator Obama is talking about. I mean, Democrats have been about this since the party existed, helping more the poor by taxing the rich. Yeah. So I don't see what the big hoopla is like, oh, my God, redistribution of wealth.
I agree, because when you use that particular language, what it does is it invokes a sense of socialism, and it makes it seem like something strange and unusual is happening. But there's so many...
Would that be because that's the definition of it?
No, well, what I'm saying is we've always had social policies that have been about redistributing wealth. But what we act as if now that this is something historically unprecedented, and it in fact is not. Even over the last 8 years, when wealth has gone from the middle class to the rich, that's a redistribution of wealth. We just don't like it anymore. And so now what Barack Obama's trying to do is not really take rich people's money and give it to poor people, but redistribute opportunity for capital and access to capital. And that's what he was talking about.
See, but the problem I've got with both camps right now is the Republicans, okay, so they're supposed to be about big business, but they're also supposed to be about small government. Meanwhile, the Democrats are supposed to be about helping the little guy. Yeah. Both parties just passed a $2 trillion bailout package for Wall Street. That was the biggest redistribution of wealth upwards I've ever seen in the history of any planet, any country.
Absolutely.
And Obama was for that.
Yeah.
Obama was for redistribution of wealth upwards from the working class, the renter, the saver, to the levered-up Wall Street guys.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And in a sense, though, that's a critique of the Republicans because they didn't...
Whoa. Obama voted for it. He argued for it.
Listen to me. I'm not defending Barack Obama on that point. I happen to disagree with him on that point. My other point, though, is that Republicans didn't have a problem with redistributing of wealth when it went to the corporate sector. Now, all of a sudden, they're throwing their hands up in indignation, like, oh, my God, we're giving money to poor people. That's what the issue is. It's not redistributing wealth. It's redistributing wealth to poor people. And that's what we have a problem with. And we need to change that mentality.
Dr. Hill and I use that term loosely, doctor. I actually call him Dr. Caribou because we go way back on the drilling issue on both sides. I threw this at you a couple weeks ago on Bulls and Bears. And I said, look, you're a professor, right?
Yeah.
What happens if the top A students in your class have to redistribute some of their great grades to the bottom C and D dwellers who go out and party all night and don't study? Where's the incentive for either one of these groups to work hard? The top aren't going to work hard because they have to give some of it away, and the bottom aren't going to work hard because they don't have to. They're going to get something.
Absolutely. Well, contrary to your blog, I didn't respond because I got cut off.
Oh.
So my answer to you now would be, well, that presumes that everyone's starting on equal footing and that everyone has equal access to studying, everyone has equal talent, and that the people who might be a little more talented might do better.
And they don't in your class?
No, I'm saying in my class, that is the case, and that's why it would be unfair. But in this society, we don't all start off equal. There are people who have been deprived access to education, housing, healthcare, and so forth. And now part of what we need to do is redistribute opportunity to them so they can have a fighting chance to fight for themselves.
Well, I mean, it goes both ways, as you guys were saying. And it's really key that you touched on that, Cody, because it's interesting, when they're calling for tax cuts, they're saying, hey, tax cuts for big businesses and people who create the jobs, that's okay because they will help the poor people this way. But, instead of doing a roundabout way, let's also help them directly. So, you know, all of the above. But it's again, that whole, they're making this whole controversy
and on that
about
note, Rebecca,
redistributing wealth.
that's where, and Eric, I love you to death, but that's where the hypocrisy of saying we should bail out Wall Street but not bail out Main Street comes back to haunt former capitalists.
Bail out Main Street. I haven't heard anyone say throw money at Wall Street, but don't come up with $300 billion.
You are sitting here right now saying we should not redistribute wealth to the poor, but we did you have been arguing for months that we should redistribute wealth to the rich.
I'm saying that what we did, we hate it. Everyone hates it. Democrats hate it, Republicans hate it, but clearly we had to do something or the whole financial system was at risk.
You loved it.
At risk.
You loved it.
Every Republican wanted to vote for a bailout or a
absolutely. They
loved it. They lived and died. They loved it.
Dr. Hill, how is all this going to play out? I mean, we're days away from this election. How, you know, the Republicans are trying to jump on this, you know, socialist act of redistributing wealth. How is that going to play out in the election?
I think they're a day late and a dollar short with this. I mean, that narrative will play to a very small slice of undecided American voters, but the bulk of the American people are likely going to support Barack Obama because he supports tax cuts for the middle class. He wants to keep jobs in the United States as opposed to transporting them overseas.
How does he pay for the tax cuts?
But no, one of the troubling aspects of Barack Obama's policy, from what I see, is that he has not given a clear sense of how he's going to pay for this imbalance of budget. I agree with you. That's an open question.
Eric,
however,
do we ever have to figure out
however, John McCain has done nothing to give confidence that he can do anything different. And so if Obama has a plan for saving the middle class and John McCain is clearly indebted to the rich, then I'm going to go with someone who at least has a vision for America that makes things more equal for everybody.
Where do we get the money to pay for any of the stuff that we're spending on right now?
Borrow from China.
Well, they got it for the bailout, so they're getting it from
That's what
I
haven't figured that out yet. I'm still trying to
the point is
source
McCain
those
doesn't have answers either. I think both of them are woeful on the economy. I have critiques of both, but McCain has been awful on it.
But he's not suggesting really a wealth distribution into the bottom 95% of the people who pay taxes.
No, but what he wants to do is engage in a tax cut across the board that will continue to ship jobs overseas, that will continue to deny opportunity for expansion of small businesses. All of the things that John McCain is proposing will not help.
Don't point to me when you're talking about John McCain.
Oh, no, I'm not
I just want to be clear. I'm not voting for Obama or McCain.
Neither am I.
That much.
I'm fair and balanced here. I'm just speaking the issues here. And I think, quite honestly, that Barack Obama is the best opportunity for economic prosperity.
But you are going to vote for one of those guys. I am not.
I may not. I don't know. I'm on a percentage ticket, so, you know, we'll see what happens.
Dr. Hill, great to see you all the time. What is that?
Oh,
that's an oil barrel.
Yes, we're going to get from onshore drilling.
Onshore
drilling.
See the rest.
Nowhere near. Save the caribou.
On tap. I throw down a few quick shots.